All right, I'm not gonna lie. This is a bold statement. Aldi is the best grocery store on earth. I've been to Aldi, okay? I've never been to Aldi in actual Germany, but we go to Aldi occasionally. The best in the world? I don't know. We're going to find out right now. The Fat Files is doing an unhinged case study on Aldi, and I'm really interested to see this. I've seen this guy before. I'm going to drop a link down in the description if you want to check out his videos and his channel. He does great work. I haven't seen this though, and I'm really curious what his take is on of why Aldi is the best grocery store in the world. They got good stuff. I like it, okay? But I'll be the judge of whether they are number one. Before we hop in, I'm gonna ask you guys to please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I've been getting absolutely throttled with copyright strikes, not actual strikes, but copyright disputes and just issues. I got so many videos that you guys can't see that I wish you could. So do me a favor, hit that like button and let's dive in.
Aldi is a grocery store that does things completely different
quick
than any other grocery store that I've ever been to, and that is probably because they were founded in Germany in 1946. If you don't know, World War II ended in 1945, and living in Germany right after World War II was straight up not a good time. A ton of Germany's cities and infrastructure had essentially been reduced to rubble during World War II, and the entire country was going through a humongous economic depression to the point that people were doing the whole stereotypical wheelbarrow full of money to buy a loaf of bread thing. Okay, if you're not picking up what I'm putting down, I'm trying to tell you that the founders of Aldi, Carl and Theo Albrecht, are playing entrepreneur on hardcore mode. And obviously they did a good job at it because Aldi is a humongous chain of grocery stores today. So how on earth did these two brothers launch a successful chain of grocery stores in Germany in 1946? They kept it simple. They were goal-oriented. They wanted to make money, and they knew that not everybody had a lot of money to spare, so they needed to sell everything cheap. In order to do that, they said, we're not going to have 50 different flavors from 12 different companies of every type of product. We're just going to have one of everything. Like, instead of having 15 different types of peanut butter, we just have one type of peanut butter. And that's how they got their products to be cheap, by focusing their buying power. Now, that's the simple part, but where the true genius comes out is that they realized that they weren't going to make a lot of money per customer, so they had to maximize the amount of customers that they had. In order for that to happen, they realized that they needed customers to get in, get their shit, and get out so that more customers could come in. So they German engineered this entire grocery store to streamline the entire shopping experience to make it as fast as humanly possible. And oh boy did that work, because in the first 10 years, they went from one grocery store to 300 grocery stores. Then the two brothers, Carl and Theo, got in a huge fight because one of the brothers wanted to have cigarettes in the grocery store and the other brother adamantly was a...
I think I know where this is going. They split up. One created Trader Joe's. I lightly touched on this in, I think, Felly from Germany did a video that I watched, and she kind of breezed over Aldi a little bit. But yeah, I think it was split in two Trader Joe's, which actually is my favorite grocery store.
That they were going to split their massive business completely in half. They were going to have Aldi's North and Aldi's South. They literally just drew a line across Germany, said all these grocery stores are mine, all the ones down there are yours. Yeah, capitalism and communism are split in Germany east to west. Aldi's is splitting it north to south. But here's the thing, the brothers didn't have a falling out. They still worked together, and they still wanted the other brother to succeed. So they were constantly sharing information with one another, and they would come together to make offers with manufacturers when they were buying so that they could utilize their buying power together. So you have Aldi's North and Aldi's South, basically the same thing. The only real difference is one sells cigarettes and they have a slightly different logo. Now, in America, due to trademark law, you can't have two grocery stores with the same exact name and a slightly different logo. So in America, we have Aldi, and then we have Trader Joe's. But really, it's all just Aldi, and they kept to the principles of cheap and fast until modern day, which is something that no other grocery store in America has managed to do.
Yeah, it's one of the best things of going to Aldi and Trader Joe's. They're both fairly cheap, but, you know, compared to if I go to like the local grocery store, which we have is called Kroger or Publix, I'll go in there and spend, let's say, $200 US and get enough food for like 3 or 4 days. I'm slightly kidding. But if I go into Trader Joe's or Aldi's and spend the same amount, we have enough food for like 2 weeks. It's insane. The quality sometimes there's certain things at Aldi that like I'm not huge on. Some of the meats, I like meat coming from a butcher. A lot of it's like prepackaged. And although it is Aldi, we are still in America. So some of it has like preservatives and stuff. So it's not my favorite, but I still love the stores. Absolutely. I mean, Trader Joe's is the shit.
They not managed to do it. They intentionally do the opposite. Pretty much every other grocery store on the planet has figured out that time equals money. And the more time you spend in their store is the more money they can get out of you. Okay, I know that you've been in one of these gigantic grocery stores, but I'm going to go ahead and break it down for you anyways. Okay, you walk through the door. store, congratulations, you've just entered capitalism's obesity thunderdome, because everything in this room is pretty much designed to hurt you, more or less. The first thing you're going to notice is that you're there for milk. Well, congratulations, the milk is all the way across the store in the far back corner, and they stuck it there on purpose because they know you need it, and now you have to walk past every fucking aisle in the store to get to it. And pretty much every single aisle there is full of products where they have hired a psychologist to design boxes with pretty colors to trigger your lizard brain to being like, oh my god, I have to have it. They're trying to get you to buy as much shit as humanly possible on your way to get milk, bread, and eggs. And I know what you're thinking, all those fancy marketing tactics don't work on me. Maybe, but hear me out. Next time you're in there, just do some people watching. You're gonna notice that a portion of the population, their brain can't handle going to a modern grocery store. They turn into zombies. They're pushing their cart veering side to side. They can't even keep it straight as their head's turning to look at all the different pretty colors. There's people straight up just standing still at a wall of cereal like as their brain desperately tries to calculate and process all this information regarding what type of Cheerios they need. There's people standing there with 2 different types of ranch in each hand, probably made from the same exact factory with the same exact ingredients, but they have different labels on them from different companies, and they don't know which one is going to be better for them. It's like the Island of the Lotus Eaters from Greek mythology. They go there for one thing, and then they're stuck there for all of eternity. It's literally purgatory. This is why every other grocery store in America isn't just a grocery store. They also have a coffee shop, and a little restaurant, and a florist, and a pharmacy, and a bank where you can cash your check. They're trying to get any excuse to get you to come into their store for a second, because they know once you set foot in there, you're going to be in there for at least an hour and a half trying to figure out what type of products you need.
I'm not gonna lie, I went into the grocery store today and I got a sandwich. Crazy that you can get like delicious subs at a grocery store, but they are to die for. And I surprisingly don't move around the grocery store. I don't really like going to grocery stores, so.
That doesn't convince you that they're trying to trap you in there. Checking out in a grocery store today will, okay? The first thing you're going to notice with your cart full of groceries, there's 30 different lanes. One of them is open, and it's the one furthest away from the door. So obviously, you're going to have to spend some time waiting in line because there's only one checkout register open, and it moves slower than the DMV in Zootopia. And while you're waiting, you probably couldn't help but notice that there is a mountain of candy on either side of you as they desperately try to make that one last sale. But you avoid temptation, and it is now your turn. You're up next. You are getting checked out at the grocery store. You're almost out of here. And that's when you realize that this has now turned into an interrogation. Okay, they're going to open up by taunting you. They're going to say something along the lines of, did you find everything you were looking for today, sir? They know. They know you found everything you were looking for because you just stood in line that says, I found all the shit I needed. But they're going to go ahead and rub it in your face because they knew it took you forever to figure out which flavor of ranch that you wanted. And just for the record, when I say they're taunting you, I'm not talking about the cashier themselves. They're just doing their job. They're doing what they were told to do. The CEO of the company, on the other hand, is laughing his ass off at you. I was a cashier.
I'm not gonna lie, when I go to grocery stores, if I'm like by myself and not with my whole family, I just put my headphones in and I do the self-checkout. Do you guys get this in Europe where if you go into like a grocery store or someplace, every time you check out, they want you to donate to something? Donate, and they always guilt you into it. It used to just be on the screen when you would go to check out and be like, would you like to donate $1 to the Red Cross today or to help children with cancer? And you're like, no, like I already donate. But now when I go to a grocery store, it's not just on the screen anymore. Now they come up to you while you're checking out. I got a sandwich and a drink, and I'm going to check out, and somebody has to come up to me. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. And I just headphones. I'm like, leave me alone. Would you like to donate to the blah, 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 blah? Not today. I just want to spend my $9 and get my sandwich and get out of here. I don't feel like donating right now. Do you guys experience that? Or is that just like a United States thing? I gotta know. Let me know in the comments.
Cashier at a grocery store for 5 years, and in 5 years, 0 people said they didn't find everything they were looking for. Okay, that entire question is just to fuck with you. But this is a portion where they're going to start playing hardball. They want to harvest as much information as possible. It's going to be like, oh, did you have our fucking little super duper saver card where you spend $800 in groceries and we give you like 12 cents off of a gallon of gas? And you're going to be like, no, I don't. Oh, did you want one? No, I don't, because I know for a fact that as soon as I give you my name, my email address, my address, and my phone number, you're going to turn around and sell it to a data broker, and then I'm going to have robots calling my phone for the next 10 fucking years, because that's exactly why they asked for that information, so they can turn around and sell it. Because there is a total of 0 gigantic superstores that are giving away shit for free, okay? Nothing is ever free. If it's free, it's because you're the product. And then because you had the audacity to tell them no, they're going to shame more money out of you. They're going to hit you with the old, did you want to round your total up today for puppies with maggots in their eyes? Really? You're gonna hit me with that with a full line of people behind me? For real? Every time we get all the maggots out of a puppy's eyes, we donate it to an orphanage so they have some type of family. Also, by the way, fuck, fine, okay, I'll take the money, whatever. Just give me my groceries, I have to go. Okay, so that's your average grocery store, but Aldi's, on the other hand, is a goddamn masterpiece, okay? Can German engineering win a world war? Absolutely not, but holy fuck can it build a grocery store, because immediately upon approaching Aldi's, you're gonna be like, oh, all the carts are outside. That's fine, I'm gonna go grab one. And as you're walking towards the carts, you see the enormous "We're hiring" banner across the front of the store, and it says that they pay all their employees anywhere between $18.50 and $25 an hour starting rate. So now you're already kind of feeling good because, hey, this company takes care of their employees. Then you get to the shopping carts and you're like, oh shit, you actually have to take a quarter, stick it into this little slot, and unlock it from all the other carts. And at first you're like, oh, that's a really clever idea, because now people are going to put their own carts back so they can keep their quarter. That way they're going to save a bunch of money on labor by not having to have somebody go drag carts in from the parking lot all day long. And that's true, that is part of it, but the other part that you're not thinking about, this is actually an IQ test, you see, because if you're not fucking smart enough to remember to bring a quarter, guess what? You can't really shop here.
That's me. That's me. You don't know how many times I've been there where I'm like, get a quarter. I don't carry cash on me and I never have change. I'm like trying to dig through my center console in my truck so I can get a quarter out. I guess my IQ is a little low.
A big deal, but I'm telling you right now, it's a huge deal, because as soon as you step into Aldi's, you're gonna notice a distinct lack of motherfuckers in the way. Everybody in there is there to get their shit and get out because they have stuff to do. Speaking of which, as soon as you walk into the store, there's no like grand opening area where you get to like walk down all the other aisles and like weave in and out and do all this bullshit. You walk in, you're in aisle 1. You have to turn left. There's only one way to go. Now all of the traffic is going the same fucking direction. It's engineered to perfection. You walk in the door, you go down aisle 1, you go down aisle 2, you go down aisle 3, you go down aisle 4, and then there's checkout, because there's only 4 aisles in Aldi's. It's perfect. Aldi's is one quarter the size of your average grocery store, and it only stocks about 1,600 items, and your average grocery stocks over 30,000 items. And at first you're like, well, that doesn't sound very good, but no, it's actually perfect, because guess what? You need Cheerios? They've got Cheerios, but it's only one type of Cheerios. You don't have people standing in the middle of the aisle clogging up traffic, taking forever. Grab your Cheerios and keep it moving. Generic brands never taste.
There are a couple of things though when I go to Aldi that I wish that they had. Like I might be searching for a specific, I don't know, balsamic vinegar. They probably have balsamic vinegar, but like something like that, like a dressing or like a seasoning or something. They might not have it, and then you got to go to another grocery store, which is a little bit of a pain, but he's completely right. It is set up really well. And I love going in there because immediately when you walk in, like he said, everything is just in a straight line. And I know it's just like meat, cheese, veggies, frozen. I can get it done quick. There's not a ton in the middle aisles. It is pretty genius the way that they set it up.
It's as good as a name brand. I mean, sometimes sure, but like 90% of the time, generic.
What did he say?
Traffic, taking forever. Grab your Cheerios and keep it moving. Generic brands never taste as good as a name brand. I mean, sometimes sure, but like 90% of the time, it's the same exact product made in the same factory, and it just has a different box. And Aldi knows that, and they went out of their way to prove it. And to prove it, they went to the biggest brand snobs on the planet. Wine people. You know, the same people that can apparently waft or taste a wine and be able to tell how wet or how dry it was the year that those grapes were harvested. Yeah, Aldi enters wine competitions and wins all the time with their $5 bottle of wine. So now it's time to check out. You get to the checkout lane, everything looks completely normal. It's like every other checkout lane in every other grocery store that you've ever been to, except for it's not. This is not your normal cashier. This is like the NASCAR pit crew of cashiers. This is the fastest person at ringing out groceries you've ever met in your entire life. He's gonna get to your groceries on the little conveyor belt. He's gonna acknowledge that you exist, like, how's it going? And then you're gonna say good, and then you're gonna look down and all your groceries are already back in your cart. And that's when you're gonna be like, oh shit, what is happening right now? And you're gonna realize that he's not standing up like every other grocery store on the planet. He's sitting down in a chair, and you're gonna be like, that's kind of cool. And then in the back of your head, you're gonna be like, wait a minute, why did the grocery store that I worked at for 5 years all through high school make me stand up for absolutely no reason? Hi V, give me an answer. I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna say because sitting down doesn't look professional, okay? Listen to me. That's fucking dumb. Just because you're making money and working doesn't mean you need to be physically uncomfortable for no fucking reason. Okay.
There's like a huge difference too between working a job that you actually like have to move around in a restaurant or something like that. You know, standing on your feet all day. I feel like I get tired, but not as much as when you have to stand in one spot and not really move. It seems a little more tiring. Chairs and grocery stores, I'm all for it.
And you're gonna be like, oh shit, every single box or every single product has like 5 barcodes on it. That way the cashier doesn't have to search around for a barcode. He can just kind of shit whip it across the laser and it's gonna catch it every time. That's how he managed to ring your groceries up at the speed of light. And then the cashier is gonna give you your total, and it's literally like half of what you were expecting it was gonna be, because apparently the front door at Aldi's is a magical portal that takes you into the past where groceries used to be cheap. So then you grab your cart full of groceries, walk off to the side, there's a huge counter with a bunch of boxes. You put your groceries in the boxes, put them in your cart, take that shit out to your car,
put them in your bags.
You went through the entire store, you went through every aisle, and got through checkout in literally less than 10 minutes. It's amazing.
I will say we have like the bags that you take into grocery stores. It seems like every time my wife goes to Aldi though, she like forgets the bags at home, and then she'll pull into the driveway or the garage and she's like, "Can you help me with the groceries?" And I go back there and open it up and all the groceries are just scattered about. I'm like, "Where are the bags?" She's like, "I forgot them." All right.
Aldi's entire MO, be fast and be cheap, and it works out amazing. They're the only grocery store in the country that I'm aware of that is just trying to be a grocery store. What do?
Yeah.
They sell groceries. They don't have a pharmacist. They don't have a florist. They don't have a bank where you can cash your check. They don't even have a customer service counter, and you can't call them. They don't take phone calls from the public. You can go on their website and they straight up tell you, yeah, we don't take phone calls from the public because our employees' time is too valuable because they're busy selling groceries. And a lot of people probably think that that's horrible customer service, and maybe they're right. But what you're not considering is a lot of people don't always want good customer service, okay?
I would much rather have cheaper groceries in a more efficient grocery store than having like crazy customer service, someone that you can call. Like, I always see those people in the grocery store too. They're like up at the customer service desk and I'm like, what are you doing there? Are you like returning stuff that you bought and then like trying to get your money back? I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm a dude. If I buy something and I don't like it, whether it's clothes, food, pretty much anything, if I don't like it, and as long as it wasn't like hundreds or thousands of dollars, I just throw it away. I just like get rid of it. I'm like, whatever. I'm not taking it back to return it.
Personally, I don't want to be Nick. I don't want to be an individual that needs to be treated special when I'm in the grocery store. I just want to be treated like a number. I want to get through this process as fast as humanly possible so I can get back to doing stuff that I actually care about. And I think a lot of other people feel the exact same way. And I know that because Aldi has been the fastest growing grocery store in the country for years now. And according to the Food Institute, they are ranked the #1 grocery store according to consumers. And you want to know who's number 2? Trader Joe's, which is also Aldi. They are at first and second place. They are quite literally just competing with themselves to be number 1, and I'm pretty sure it's because they're the only ones that are just trying to be a grocery store. As it turns out, when you only care about doing one thing, you end up being pretty good at it. And I think that's the big takeaway from this case study. Aldi's key to success is they figured out the one thing they wanted to do, then they figured out how to do it fast, cheap, and still deliver a good product, and everything else just works out. Meanwhile, all the other grocery stores were too worried about competing with Walmart, and now they're not even really grocery stores anymore. They're just Walmart knockoffs that don't sell video games. So in conclusion, that's how Aldi became the last true grocery store. If you have a company that you want me to talk about next.
So I would say since Trader Joe's is technically still Aldi, I'll give it to him. All right. Aldi is the best grocery store because I like Trader Joe's just a little bit more because of the food, the type of food that they have there. And I can find things there that I can't find at Aldi. Besides that, they're both amazing. Great. Germany did a fantastic job delivering America the best grocery store on earth. And with that, I'm going to head out of here. Appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.